Services Navigating Cayuse video. In this video, we're going to show how to get around in Cayuse and find some of the information that you may be looking for regarding your research proposals and awards. To log into Cayuse, use this URL, and after you've entered that into your web browser, which we do recommend Chrome or Firefox, you will see the OU single sign-on login page. After logging in, this is the page that you will see. As you can see, there's several options here on the left side. The bottom one here is a link that'll take you to Cayuse's support center, where after you log into that, you'll be able to view several articles and videos that Cayuse has put together. The three here in the middle don't really concern anyone but the Office of Research Services. Are used for upkeep of the Cayuse system. The Cayuse 4241 again is another one used by our proposal development specialists. They use that to submit proposals to agencies that have set up what's known as system-to-system submission with Cayuse. So really the one option or link that you'll concern yourself with is the Cayuse SP sponsored projects link. So when you select that, you will see what Cayuse calls your dashboard. You can see there's three menu choices here at the top, and here on the left side there's several options as well. The more option, clicking on it, shows that it's research contacts. What this is you could select it and go in and look for persons that it will give you a list of people in each unit that who will need to certify your proposals. The reporting option will bring up a page that'll allow you to enter various criteria to try to build a list of proposals and awards. We'll go into that a little bit later. And the My Dashboard option, clicking on it is simply a drop-down list of these same options here on the left side. Looking at the options on the left side, they've grouped them into three areas, kind of how you'd use Cayuse for proposals, and then the awards, or the certifications that you may need to do. In each of these, there's a unit options, and those typically are going to be just needed by department heads or others that have been designated as approvers for proposals for their departments. And again, that's kind of tied back to this, where you could see who those people are. At the University of Oklahoma, we, as you know, our setup is where we handle the proposals. We enter the proposals, build the proposal for you, and get it all ready for submission, and ultimately submit it for you. So really, this first option here, start a new proposal, you won't ever need to select it. So the first option here that we might want to look at, that we'll take a look at, is My Proposals. When I click on My Proposals, it'll bring up a page that shows unsubmitted and submitted proposals. The unsubmitted page will not ever have any records in it because it really is populated only on to show the proposals that you would have created. And since your proposal development specialist creates your proposal, then this won't show up here. Any proposals won't show up here. But if you click on submitted proposals, now it will show all of the proposals in which you're part of the research team. As you can see, the user I'm logged in today as is Carol Silva. And so it's showing all the proposals in which Carol is part of the research team. Little on the columns here, the status column here. This is a changing column that, depending on where the proposal is in the process, that column will change and be updated. And then the rest of the columns are really just more information to help you, locate the proposal that you're interested in. When you find the proposal that you're wanting to get some information about, one quick way to see that is with this PDF icon right here. It will generate a PDF of what's known as the IPF, or the internal processing form. So to click on it, it will bring up, the way mine's set up here, what to do with that file. So I'm just going to say open with preview here. Drag that in where we can see it. And as you can see, it brings up a PDF and starts out with the number, and it just starts to list all of the information for this PDF, or proposal, I'm sorry. And it's, how everything's currently set up, or in the data entered. Okay. And a nice thing about this is you can, as you saw, save that. So if you needed just a quick copy to possibly email to someone, or whatever you need to do with it, that would be a quick, easy way to do it. The other way, it would be to click on this proposal numbers. You see here, it's actually a link. So let's click on that. And when we do that, it actually brings you into where the proposal's sitting in the routing status, which is a very similar screen to what we'll eventually see over here in the certification pages. Again, there's just a header of some basic information that you may need. And again, to go into the proposal and see more about it, you can click on it and go through, and it's broken down into the various sections of the proposal. You could go through each one of these and see the data that's been entered in it. Clicking on that shows who, the efforts. And anyway, you just go through each section and see what all's been entered by the PDS. And on this general info, you can see who the PDS is, who your SPC will be, and just various bits of information about the proposal. And to get back, I typically just use the back button on the browser to get back. The other two options under the proposal dashboard are proposals in my unit and the authorization to proceed inbox. The proposals in my unit, to leave the section you're in, you can just simply click on one of these links and it'll take you to that section or choice. Again, this one, will be set up for persons that are typically department chairs, heads of centers, things like that. And we would have to assign certain permissions to allow this to view proposal. It would show all proposals in under a department or division, regardless of whether you're on the research team or not. And kind of the same here with authorization to proceed inbox. This would just simply list proposals that are currently set with a with a with a proposal type of authorization to proceed. But in this situation, we don't have any right now. Look at awards. By clicking on My Awards, it'll bring up a page similar to what we saw under My Proposals. And again, there's 3 tabs at the top: Awards, Active Projects, Inactive Projects. The awards page lists each incremental funding that's been entered for all of the projects that you're listed on. You can see it kind of lists them in with the most recent one first. And to go in and look, and if you're interested in something to do with a specific increment, simply click the number, and it'll bring you to a page that just shows again, the header, the basic information of the award. And then here is a row of tabs that we can go into to see more information about this incremental funding. But I think I'd like to hold off on diving in a little deeper on those until we go back to, as you can see here, you got a link that will take you back to the project. But I'd like to go back to this page, and again, at the top of the page, you've got awards, active projects, inactive. And when I'm looking for information, my preference is to start at the project level, because at the project level, everything involving that project, there will be ways to get to that piece of information. So on this tab, now we see everything listed by project number, as opposed to on this other one, it was that same project, but it was the actual incremental funding received listed. And this is active projects, and it's all triggered on this column over here on status, where it's active, proposed, but not inactive. And that, again, this status column is like the proposal one, where it can change. And this time it would be your sponsored program coordinator updating the project to reflect a new status. And if we just quickly go to the inactive, same information list, but again, just the inactive projects. Let's go back to active, and to go in to look at a project, simply click on that project number, and now it brings up a screen very similar to what we saw on the awards page also. The projects page is very similar to the proposals and awards page. You've got the header information, some commonly needed information about the project, and then a row of tabs that kind of break the project down into various areas. Under the general tab, we can see so just your overall commonly needed information, such as the title, begin and end date, sponsors, other type of things that you may commonly need. The next tab, again, the awards. This would list all of your incremental funding for this project. We've already looked at the awards, so we won't go there. Budget overview, kind of the just a brief glance at how the budget's been set up for this project. In the accounts, if again, this was like under the awards tab, if the sponsor needed separate accounts for each award increment, then all of those accounts would be shown on this page. Your personnel. Now this is all of the personnel for the project is through the life of a project, and for different awards, possibly the research team might change, but this would be a summary of all of the research team for the project. And again, a project could have multiple proposals within it, and all of those would be listed on this page. And also, if you needed to jump and look at that proposal, you can always just click right there and it would link up to it. If any subcontracts were involved, as we can see on this one, there's none found, but they would be listed here. And as we've seen, this would be your notes tab. And here we have the attachments for the project. Let me jump back over to the accounts tab. Sometimes you may be wanting to find some pieces of information about that could be account specific. But to do that, click on the account number, and that will bring up this pop-up. And here you can see some of the information that the SPC is set for the account. I think probably one of the common ones would be your F&A rate, and over here is your budget begin and end dates. So anyway, that's how to find information about the account. Okay, I think that's about it for projects. So now to get back to your dashboard, kind of a way I like to do it is just click on my dashboard and let's go back to my awards, and that'll bring us back to this page. Take a look at the certifications. To get to proposals that you need to certify, click on the PI certification inbox here. And by default, that'll bring up a list of proposals to be certified. And under this tab, you can see proposals that you've previously certified. So to get lists, you can see here it lists the project name, sponsors, and your proposal number to help you locate the proposal that you need to certify. And again, then over here again is the Adobe icon to allow you to look at the IPF for that proposal, which is a quick way just to see a summary of all of the data that's been entered for that proposal. So let's select one here. And it gives you the list of investigators on the proposal, the departments that'll be involved, and kind of where it's sitting in the status of the work that's been done. Across the tab row here, the approvals, that's what we're on, and it just kind of, no one shows the decisions here by other people. You can look at various things that may, help you decide to certify or not. Compliance issues. Again, the status history is where it's sitting at. ATP is not really used a lot in here. And if this was going to be tied to a previously awarded project, then that would show here. Again, the notes for this proposal, and then any attachments that's been uploaded. And then if you want to, really look and more at how everything has been entered by the PDS on the proposal, again, you could click right here, and that would take you back into the pages that we saw under My Proposals. And then, after you reviewed it, then you decide if you want to certify. But when you click Certify, that's going to bring up a screen, and to read through, with some text here to read through on what you're certifying and agreeing to. Add some comments here if you want to. And then finally, if you want to submit your certification. So that is it for under your PI certifications. And then under the unit approvals, it's basically the same way. The initial screen's just a little different maybe, but not too much. It changes here adds the unit in. Again, you select a proposal, and then it brings us back to this very similar screen to what we saw under the PI certification screens. But here, since the unit approver has the final approval on whether this proposal is to go forward, they're presented with authorize or reject options. And so depending on how you need to what your decision is on this, so that's what you would want to select. You can authorize and then submit and cancel. If you wanted to reject, again, enter some your reasons or comments about it and then submit. Okay. Quick look at the reporting tools that's available in Cayuse. Clicking on reporting, it brings up a page that breaks out the reporting areas into proposals, awards, and projects. And then under those are some criteria that you can query by. And again, under this, as you can see, what's here by unit, lead PI, sponsor type, and that's all that is available here for, say, proposals, which is rarely the case. I mean, you probably want to see proposals that you're on the research team, then this unfortunately wouldn't work for you. And that's why we have created some reporting tools using Power BI that are a little more flexible and easier to use and generally provide the information that you're after. Let's take a quick look at one of the reports here. We'll do it by lead PI. It brings up a pop-up to allow you to select and click on that. You can search for the name of the lead PI. And it brings up a list that matches that last name. And so I'll click Carol here, select continue, and you can continue to build the list out of who you would like to see in the report. And when you're done, click continue. If you're wanting to look at a certain date range, you could enter that here, beginning date and ending date. And then once you're done, click View Report. And then that'll bring up the page with all of the proposals where Carol Silva is the lead PI in that date range. And you have an option to export this to an Excel spreadsheet. So anyway, that's pretty much how the reporting works in Cayuse, and you are restricted to being grouped by these certain specific areas that they have available for us. But again, we will be doing a training video on using the Power BI reporting. And then the other option would be to reach out and contact me, because we do, Office of Research Services does offer custom reporting. So, don't hesitate to contact me if you need to take advantage of that. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and again, look for the Power BI reporting video that should be coming along shortly.